Hello, star seeds, light healers, galactic beings, twin flames, all of my galactic brothers and sisters. Hello, my name is Arius. I'm so glad we are sharing each other's space right now. Yes, so today I'm going to be talking about the dark night of the soul because I have been going through them. Yes, them. I've been going through fluctuations of emotions, and I'll get like a breather. It's almost kind of like a basketball game. Like, if you play basketball, it can be very intense and you're very tired going back and forth on the court. And it's like every now and then it's like you're the star player of your own life, right? So it's like they need you in at all times. But every now and then, the coach has to let the key player rest up, and that's like how the dark night of the soul has been feeling. I don't know where that analogy came from. I literally played basketball in 3rd grade, so I'm not like this star basketball player, but I do feel like it was a calling, but like I missed it. But anyways, I'm not trying to like have me be like, oh, is she like a star basketball player? No, it's a dream. But anyways, so yes, you're the basketball player of your life, of the court of your life. I don't know where this is going. I think this is us just breaking the ice. Maybe you guys need to, if you're going through the dark night of the soul, then it's very intense, and so we get like a little relief here. But yeah, so every now and then the coach lets the star player rest on the sides, and that's what it's been feeling like, because it's like very intense, very intense. My energy is drained. I've been feeling so tired. And then I'm like, oh, okay, like, is it over? Is it over? I'm feeling like a little bit better. But then the coach is like, nope, get back in the game. And then it's like, so you're digging deep, it's been really heavy. So I was trying to take notes on it, but they all just kept feeling like forced. So I felt like this had to just be like a casual, just totally free flowing. Like, I literally have notes, the dark night of the soul, and I just have less thinking. So because I would just get in my head, like I said, or I guess I didn't say this part. I had to redo this video multiple times because my phone storage, I keep deleting everything, but somehow my phone storage keeps saying, I don't know. See, I manifest all these blocks because I have so many blocks within me just to do what my mission and purpose is, and that's to heal the earth and to connect with you guys. So yes, I know I'm babbling, but let me get to the point. The dark night of the soul. Fear is coming up. What is it? It's when you decide to fully awaken and to fully embrace your heart's truest desires. You embrace your galactic being. You are no longer letting fear rule your reality. And as Sophia Charles likes to say, fuck everyone and rise above. Because that's the only way to really get to what you want. You have to literally just obliterate everything in your current reality and say, none of this resonates. I'm choosing something completely different. And that comes with pain and suffering, which, okay, well, I'm getting a pullback from pain and suffering because it's like we've been conditioned to believe that everything has to be terrible. And that's the thing. It's like you have to detox from all the poison that you've been putting into your body, and that's what causes pain and suffering. The detox from the pain and the suffering that you've been conditioned to believe you have to put all of that into you, or it's cool to do it, or it's a relief, or it's like the only relief that you get. And so yes, it's very important to understand that it is a process, that it isn't random. That's like, okay, I'm choosing the better, but why do I feel terrible? And it's because you are literally releasing all the poison, and it's coming up from the surface. And so you're going to be seeing some things might come up on your skin. You literally will be manifesting things, aches and pains that you never felt before. It's like I actually have a shoulder pain, and it's like, okay, well, I do kickboxing, but I've been realizing it's like your body is trying to tell you what you haven't worked on yet, because every part of the body is represented by a certain planet. You know, the chakra system is, I'm still, you know, I've been getting into my meditation zone and things, and just kind of feeling parts of my body and just kind of like seeing what kind of images come to my mind. So it's very powerful connecting with your body. It's like, yes, being a spiritual awakened being, you are noticing, you know, it's one thing to notice the clock. It's like 11:11, 3:33, which I saw 3:33 and 2:2. I've been seeing 3:33 and 2:22. And but anyways, so yeah, that's one thing. But what about your body, your own body? Like, that's so powerful. It's like there's messages in everything, and I was even realizing there's even messages in the temperature. Like when you attune to your senses and you start hyper activating your body through what you eat, through what you watch, through what you listen to, that is all designed to hyper activate you so you can't even think or hear yourself clearly. And so that's what I've done. I've deleted all my social media. I stopped listening to all my music. I literally cleared everything, because I've been trying to I keep trying to make YouTube videos and it keeps saying my phone is full, right? So I literally restored my phone and I said, I don't need any of this. Deleted my pictures, everything. I restored my phone as a new iPhone. And then for some reason it keeps saying my storage is full. And I was like, why do I keep manifesting all these blocks? Why is it so hard for me just to like, well, obviously I'm afraid to fail. I'm committing myself to doing, see, all of these things that come up in the dark night of the soul. It's like you're faced to be honest with yourself. And sometimes it hurts realizing what you thought or what you still think. It hurts knowing that like you believe it. It hurts knowing that you've been programmed to hate yourself. And it hurts knowing, and it's like when you were trying to pull it off of you and you're looking at it, and it's like you're crying trying to pull it off, but it keeps, and then when sometimes it's like you're pulling it. This is the dark night of the soul, right? You're pulling all of these past traumas off of you, but then you get so tired, you're doing it all alone. Like you feel like it, but you know, you are being supported by your guides, but you still feel alone, because it's like physically you are alone. We are still connected to the 3D, and so it's like we don't have to try to fake how we feel. We do feel alone, and that's a part of the process, is feeling those feelings, releasing those feelings. Totally okay. If you feel alone, then be like, I feel fucking alone, and you just you learn from it. You feel the feelings, like you invite it in, and then you start to have emotions and things of why you feel alone and what made you feel alone. And then you are able to connect the dots, and you're able to release those things. And so it's like, that's what the dark night of the soul feels like. It's like you're pulling off this negativity, and it's like it hurts trying to pull it off, and then your arms get tired, and then it comes back to you, and then you like feel, you know, that you failed again. And then it's like every time you feel like you failed, and then it's like a process, because then it's like you're so awakened to your mind now that it's like then you start getting down on yourself that you are thinking that you failed. It's like, I'm so hard on myself. It's like, yes, we've been programmed to hate ourselves, and it is the poison is coming out of your body, and it is so raw and fresh is what I'm gonna say. It's raw and fresh. But I don't want to like misguide you. It's tough. It's hard to do. It's hard to change the way that you have been thinking. It's hard that everything you've ever known is actually going to be shattered, and you've been programmed to hate yourself and hate your life. You've been enslaved working for someone else, believing that you aren't capable enough to manifest your own wishes and desires, so you do what everyone else does, go to school and get a job. This universe is infinite. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like when you awaken, and it's like these words lose power when you're still programmed to the matrix. But when you awaken, you realize the power every word has. Infinite. The universe is infinite. That means there is infinite ways to have what you want. Not only can you have whatever you want, but there is boundless ways to get it. And that's what I'm saying. We have been programmed to believe you have to know what you're going to do every day. And because you know why? It's because the Western society has detached the idea of your spiritual essence, your consciousness. Oh, that's a lot of mumbo jumbo spiritual talk, all that. I grew up Baptist. I grew up in the church. I grew up having to wear uniforms every day. I grew up having to get spankings from my teachers. I grew up having to, rewrite the same Bible verse every day. And if I misspelled a comma, I couldn't go to recess. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's the kind of things that come up in the dark night of the soul. You realize all the programming. And first, it's not even just that. It's like you have to choose to do the inner work. You need to choose to do the inner work. How do you do the inner work? You get out a pen and paper and you commit yourself. How do you love yourself? Okay, how do you love yourself? It's committing to digging deep every moment that it comes up, every time that you have a trigger, every time you write it down, it's like, why do I feel this way? It's like, why am I thinking these things? Or it's like you ask questions. And that is what I have been doing. I got this notebook for Christmas. And look, it's only been 14 days. In 14 days, I've just been... This is just a scratch of all of the trauma that I have been embedding into my subconscious that I am now seeing for the first time. And so your brain's been programmed to wire a certain way. If you're left brain dominant, right brain dominant, if you are more masculine than you're feminine, we're supposed to be masculine and feminine. It's like that is the key to balancing your emotional and your action side. The divine principle of action, the divine masculine, the divine way of putting action into your desires and having the and being able to receive the gifts that the universe has presented from you from doing that action, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It is a beautiful, sacred part of the universe. And it has been totally just crossed out into like any Western society cultures. And that's why it's so hard for people to receive. If they can't receive this message, then they have been programmed to only take action and follow orders. That's the whole reason why you have to unplug yourself from the matrix, and you have to cut off all the negative people, your situation. You have to decide you want to change, clear everything out so you can make the change, and go into hermit mode and just get your head down and be like, okay, I'm about to dig deep. And you just dig deep. And when you do that, the universe literally gifts you. The universe literally gives you gifts and abundance. You'll start to feel abundant. You'll start to have a light coming out of you. You will find abundance in moments. It's like, it's a process. It's a process because the universe only works as fast as what you believe. So for me, for instance, I've been trying to do 12 tarot videos a day, but my subconscious doesn't believe that I'm capable of having a goal and committing to it. Why? Because one, it's hard because it's like I'm so hard on myself that I don't even want to feel like I'm blaming anyone. So it's like, see, this is the kind of things that happen in the dark night of the soul. Because let me just read something. I feel like I should just read something that I had a revelation. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So I have this blue light in my shower, so throat chakra. So sometimes I'll just turn on that blue light, and water is healing. And so that's just like my zone to just be really just like raw and honest with myself. and I just start crying. It's like whenever I've been getting in the shower, I've just been feeling like I just start crying, and then I started crying because, I might cry again. I had a talk with my mom, and I realized why I had a block from doing these tarot videos, and it's because my ego was using my purpose. My ego was trying to drain, what is it? My ego was trying to it's like, okay, it's like you have to be so aware of like your ego, because my ego was trying to, like, I don't know what the word is, like drain, or it's like I found my purpose and my mission, but my ego was trying to twist it. My ego was trying to twist it all around and like make it feel like unauthentic. And the reason why is because I've been blocking my heart chakra. And one of the situations, as my whole family is moving to Texas. Ever since I started these changes, I met my twin flame. His life totally changed, and so did mine immediately. He moved somewhere else. My whole family is moving somewhere else. They want me to go, but I'm jumping into the fool's journey, and I am going to just totally dig my head deep and trust the universe that I can provide for myself, because that's a big thing that I've never really believed in. I've never really believed in myself, and like the dark night of the soul for me is like believing in myself, believing that I can just have something that I want to do and be able to do it. Like, that's how deep my own disbelief in myself is I don't even really believe that I have control over myself to do what I want tomorrow. Like, that's how left dominant my brain is. So I'm literally trying to reprogram it every day, step by step. And I've been calling in on strength, and I've been feeling strengthened and empowered by just how much that I've accomplished so far. I know that I have a lot to go, but I'm just trying to stay present, and I'm trying to do as much as I can with what I have, and to heal or connect with anybody who I know I need to start missioning. I'm not going to allow even myself to get in the way of that, because I know what my block was from doing these videos, and it's because I was doing them, my ego was trying to do them for the wrong reasons. My ego was trying to make it an easy way out for me. My ego was trying to do it for like, oh, well, that sounds easy. It's not easy. It's not easy being a light healer, being a light worker, doing 12 videos a day, zodiac readings. It's connecting. It's like I started to do them, and I realized I'm actually, even before I post the videos, I'm actually connecting with energy out there, and I'm giving readings to energies, and it was draining and exhausting, and I had to realize that I am not grounded. I wasn't grounded enough. It's like a belief system, obviously, that I believe that I don't have enough yet. And so it's like I'm trying to like release that, but also stay forward and stay putting action. And it's just been like this inner battle, and it's been really hard. It's been really hard. But I feel like on the outside, I feel like it's taking me a while to get to my point. But anyways, I've been realizing, I'm just going to share a piece of what I've been going through because maybe it resonates with you. But yeah, so my ego has been trying to do it for the wrong reasons. Like, oh, this is easy. Make my own purpose and mission feel unauthentic to me, when I know in my heart and soul that I've always been guided to spirituality, and I've always been, it's in my heart. It's in my heart. It's like, this is the real me. The real me is a galactic being. I come from the stars. I've done this many lifetimes. I actually help a lot of Earth planets into ascension. And yeah, it's like I feel, it's like my heart is ringing, but it's like my whole body, it just doesn't want to say it. And it's almost like coming out, like sometimes that's kind of the restriction that my whole life, the way that it's set out, it's like a, you know, I don't want to take away from how, you know, I don't want to take away from the experience of actually coming out when you do realize that you're gay, but I feel like it feels almost like a coming out when you like are telling everyone, yes, this is my real life, like I'm spiritual and this is what I do, and like that's just how it feels. And it's like, fuck everyone and rise above, like fuck the fear. So anyways, I've been really working on opening my heart, but it's stone cold, baby, but it's been melting or I've been melting it. I've been so blocked. And so I had a talk with my mom today, and I don't know, it's just like my ego, my reptilian brain, it just sees her and I feel her. I feel what she feels. I feel what my sister feels. And automatically my ego comes in and it's like, you know, shake things up, or it's like, you know, instead of coming from a place where I genuinely want her to understand truth, it's like I also am coming from a place where my inner child always felt the need to prove myself to her. So it's like I'm not coming from a genuine place because I have my own attachments and inner trauma wounds that I haven't healed completely. So I am kind of like, what is it called? What's the word that they use where it's like, is it like, not unqualified, but like, gosh, when your emotions get in the way of you doing the job, so they're like, no, like you lay off, that word, but yeah, so it's, I'm sorry, the word is there, okay, I guess I just have to let it go. But anyways, yeah, so I started talking to my mother, and I was telling her about, because she does mental health, and so she's all about her books. She's right brain dominant, right? She's all about her books. She's all about, I want you to do what you want to do, but, I just don't want you to be delusional, I don't want you, or just, I want you to just, be aware that, this age to this age is the heightened time for you to, like, hear voices and, like, be schizophrenic. She's not saying that I am, but, like, she says those things, but she does want me to be who I want to be. But it's hard because she's a different person now, but my inner core vibrates and remembers who she was growing up because she was in the military, so she's a different person now. And so it's like I have to release all of what it's like I'm still like putting expectations on her because I haven't released them. And it's like I'm trying to, like, my ego is trying to say, like, oh yeah, well, like the ego trap where it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm learning all these things and all of this. And then she texted me this text, and it just made me cry because she was just so loving. And it's just like I realized that the only reason why I have half the strength I do is because of her. Because regardless of however your parents treated you, they had to have some sort of strength to keep going every day, because we have no idea what our parents have been through. And it is a privilege to have self-actualization. It is a privilege. We don't have to, I haven't had to worry about money problems or anything like that, ever. And that's why it's such a big deal for me to go out on my own, because, well, I'm still battling with it because I'm not sure, am I trying to prove that to myself, or is this my mission, or is this what my spirit guides are telling me to do, which they're telling me, yes, you do need to do that because you need to learn about trust. And that's my biggest thing, is trying to trust in myself and believe in my connection. And so, yeah, once I realized that, and I realized how badly that I wanted her to feel this sense of like clarity and like the small opening of freedom, it's like I realized how important what I'm doing is. It's like I want my sister to be happy. I want my mother to be happy. I want them to be free. And it just breaks my heart when I know that they are in pain and they are suffering, and they don't believe that life can be not like that. And that's when they cracked open my heart and they made me realize which thank goodness, because they made me realize that your ego is just trying to like your ego just wants you to play it safe. Your ego wants you to think, wants you to be the same person you've always wanted to be, because ego loves comfort, right? But your soul thrives from the unknown, which my sis Marissa was telling me, and she's been helping me a lot just by connecting with her. She's like illuminating. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's like, if you're persistent with this awakening, and you really are always holding yourself accountable, even when your ego still tries to grab and pull you down back in the hole that you were crawling out of, as long as you're persistent, your guides will tell you and always lead you back to truth. So it's like I am realizing that I need to do this, and I want to do this because I genuinely feel, I can feel the pain of humanity and the collective, and it's like, it's overwhelming to not do anything about it. And yeah, other things that I realized from the Dark Night of the Soul revelations, and that's another thing. It's like the whole wanting my mother's acceptance, that like, it's like the big ones come later, but they happen to be right in your face. I was like, when I thought, I was like, you always wanted her acceptance, because I had that talk, and I was like, why am I being so triggered when I'm like, healing her, right? Not healing her, but like trying to explain to her how things are, or just like, just being caught up in my ego and like not finding balance. And it's just like, I get so frustrated with myself, but I need to be, I'm learning to be gentle and to be patient with my own self. And for twin flames, that's something that I just realized, is that it's like, it's so hard for you to be patient with your person, because it's so hard for you to be patient with yourself, to be patient while you grow. It's like, when you become more patient with yourself and your process, and you are more gentle with yourself, you are able to reflect that and give that to your person, because you can't give your person what you can't give yourself. And if you're like confused and feeling like trapped, then it's like, focus on giving that energy to yourself. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You are an adult now. You have to give yourself that love that the child you grew up didn't get. And that's another thing why it's been so hard for me, because my mom is a totally different person than who she was. And so I'm just like, why do I feel this way when I can understand differently? And it's understanding that when you were little, you didn't have the mentality you have now. That's why it still is lingering within you. So you have to literally go back and use your imagination and revisit that pain and understand it from now, and release it and transmute it by giving it purpose in the moment, because it's all about the now. And so I'm feeling like this was a big revelation for me, and I feel like I can be doing 12 videos a day now. That's another thing my ego is trying to tell me to, you know, you don't have to do like sign readings. You can just do something different every day. But it's like, surrender. And that's what I want to get surrender tattooed right here in red, in cursive. I've been wanting to get this tattoo for a couple of months now, but I was like, oh, I even made a painting of it, of like surrender, which I'll show you guys one day, but I don't want to get up right now. But you know what, maybe I will get up. It's unfinished. It's an unfinished painting that I did. And this is how because I feel like I've always been, I always knew I was different. And I always felt this feeling. I always felt the pressure or something. And so that's what this, and obviously it's unfinished, but yeah, surrender, you know, surrender to the way things have to look, your perspective, all of it, just surrender. And this word is so powerful, you know, surrender to the person that you're really meant to be. Stop fighting it, because we've been programmed to fight our own selves and hate our own selves. And yeah, it's really painful because you're taking the poison, like I said. But I was also going for a walk, and it's like I'll be doing random things and I'll be totally free in certain moments, and then like when I'm in that moment, it's like boom, it's like emotions, and I just start crying. Yeah, I was walking my dogs, Bo and Bella, and it was getting dark out, and it's because I live in Washington State, so it was getting so dark that it was like a black purple in the sky, and like the trees are black, and it's like a silhouette, and it felt so, it's just so beautiful. It just felt so magical. But then I was like going into the dark, you know, I'm so dramatic, right? I'm gonna take a walk in the dark. But anyways, so I do that, and oh gosh, what came to me? I started to think about I started to think about like my blocks towards this, and how I've been really fighting with myself, and I've been really hard on myself, and I've been just like realizing that my fear is that like I'll never ever like find relief, that I'll always feel this suffering that I've instilled deep inside me. And I just really was confronting that fear and really looking at it and just realizing how I'm so crippled by fear, and just really admitting it, that I'm scared. And that's what the dark night of the soul is. And it's like feeling you have nowhere to go either, because no one understands what you're going through, because light workers, light seeds, twin flames, we're all scattered for a reason. We're all scattered for a reason. You know, it's like, so yeah, I didn't want to put off this video any longer. I know I'm keeping it casual, but day by day, I'm going to evolve. And that's why I'm doing this now, because I know I will evolve despite my fears. Thank you for sharing space with me. I wish you, well, you know what? Whenever you feel something, just call upon your guides. Trust yourself. You are all that you need. You are genuinely all that you need. So it's nighttime here, so good night.